Alright, it is FrOzenSwipe here, and I've got a game of Domination on Outpost for us. I'm using the MP5. I've actually just been messing around recently with all the guns that have been buffed. I'll get into that in my next commentary, I think. And yeah, basically I was playing last night and this morning, trying to get a decent gameplay. Unfortunately, this is the best I could do. You know, it's a decent enough score. I'm not going to take anything away from it, but, you know, it's not the best gameplay in the world. Definitely not the best gameplay that I've ever put up, but, you know, for now, it'll suffice just because I really want to get this commentary out there, because I feel that, you know, you haven't gotten an actual proper commentary from me in like 3 weeks. So, you know, I really want to get something out there as opposed to, you know, just another live com or another Pokemon episode or whatever. But yeah, I'm actually running really low on gameplays, which is something I didn't realise until I was actually looking through my hard drive looking for gameplays, and then realised that, you know, I have barely any. And that's why I was playing last night and this morning, trying desperately to get a gameplay and failing horribly because I hadn't played COD in 3 weeks. But yeah, if you have like any gameplays you want to submit to me, feel free to let me know. Send me a message or leave a comment on this or whatever. If you're on PlayStation, you don't need a capture card. You can just add me on PSN and then send me a message saying, hey, you can record this game in my vault. Obviously, it has to be saved in your theater mode or in your vault for me to access it, but you know, once you have it there, I can pretty much just go in and record it myself. Unfortunately, if you're on Xbox, I can't do the same just because I don't have an Xbox. So I mean, it's not possible for me to go in and, you know, look at your vault and record your game for you. So if you're on Xbox, unfortunately, you're gonna have to have your own capture card. But if you do have your own capture card and you know, you record gameplays for yourself, you know, feel free to submit a gameplay in, and you know, just kind of help me out a little bit so I can build up kind of a back catalogue of gameplays, just because ever since I've got this HD PVR, I haven't really had the chance to play that much and, you know, just kind of store on a load of HD gameplays. So yeah, if you have a capture card yourself, feel free to submit. And you know, if I get enough submissions, actually I might end up doing a show like Engineering Win, or what's the one that Woody does? It's like Dissecting the Greats or something like that, where basically you go down and break down the gameplay and you'd say what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong and all that. And I do realise that, you know, there are plenty of different people who have done this before, but, you know, it's just an idea that I'm just throwing out there. I may end up getting like no submissions and, you know, it may never happen, but you never know. Or I may only get like 1 or 2 or something, in which case I'll probably just use them for normal commentaries just to help me out. So yeah. That's that. And I suppose you've been wondering, you know, what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks and why I haven't been uploading that frequently. I did have a schedule in my head, but I just kept forgetting and getting distracted by other things, because, you know, CTYI is just absolutely amazing. And by the way, that's where I was. That's what I was referring to as nerd campy, and it really does live up to that reputation. My god, I'm sorry I didn't upload as frequently as I should have when I was away, but, you know, there's nothing really I can do about it now. It's all in the past, and I will try my best to upload frequently now that I'm back. But yeah, CTYI was just absolutely amazing, and I think that, you know, that was probably like 3 of the best weeks of my life. It's really hard to explain to someone who hasn't been there before or doesn't know what it is, but, you know, I might as well give it a shot. Basically, to get in, you have to do an assessment, you have to do a test, and if you score high enough, you score in a certain percentile or whatever, depending on your age or whatnot, you know, you get in. It scores you on, you know, both linguistics and mathematics, and, you know, because I mean, some people are really good at linguistics, things like English, history, you know, different languages, things like that, or some people are good at maths, you know. So I mean, you know, it just kind of covers both sides of intelligence. But I really shouldn't be babbling on about this, and I should actually be getting to my main point. If you're good enough to get in, you go off to DCU for 3 weeks. DCU is a university in Dublin, by the way. And you do a course for those 3 weeks. You can choose from a whole host of things, from like medicine, law, maths experience, behavioral psychology, philosophy. There are others, but I can't think of them like just off the top of my head right now. I chose behavioral psychology. That's just what I chose to do for 3 weeks, and I found it really interesting. But anyway, moving on. Basically, you choose to do that course for 3 weeks. You have classes in the morning and you know, early afternoon. After that, you have activities. These activities can be things like soccer, tag rugby, to things like Quidditch. There is actually a muggle version of Quidditch, which, you know, it doesn't quite plan out as well as the actual, you know, Harry Potter style Quidditch does. But I think that's just because, really, until we develop jetpacks, it'll never be as good as actual Quidditch. But again, I'm still getting really sidetracked. They can also be things like, you know, what you can watch a film, or you know, there's 90s appreciation, where you just kind of sat back and watched cartoons from the 90s. There's Pokemon appreciation, which I actually found really good, and yeah, there are just loads of just batshit crazy activities like that you can do. And what else is there? Yeah, that's pretty much it. At least that's what I think. I'm not sure if I've done a very good job of explaining this, but yeah, hopefully that explanation has sufficed, if it has explained anything at all. But yeah, I mean, the reason it was so great is just not only from the academic side of it. I mean, the academic side of it was great. I did behavioral psychology, like I said before, and I found that really interesting. I like learning why people do the things they do. Don't get me wrong, yeah, I'm not like some sort of profiler. I'm not going to be going off with the FBI and tracking down serial killers or anything like that. I only did a 3-week course of it, and even then it doesn't have anything to do with psychological profiling. That's something slightly different, and you know, not always the most consistent of things, as criminal minds might make it out to be. But I found that really interesting. We got into loads of different topics, and I'll probably some of those topics I'll probably end up doing as commentaries, just because I found them really interesting, and I think you might find them interesting as well. You know, two that really come to mind were video games and aggression, and you know, what effect video games can have on a person's aggression and frustration levels and things like that. And also, what else is there? The formation of groupthink, and you know, in groups and out groups and things like that, and that can apply to so many things in everyday life and so many different things in society and things. And you know, obviously there's that. What else is there? Good God, I'm beginning to draw a bit of a blank here. Trying to remember what I was going on about. But yeah, it's not only the academic side of it, which was great, but also the social side of it. I mean, the people there were just so nice. Like, I mean, you could literally just like start talking to anyone and they would just like accept you into the conversation and, you know, accept you as part of the group. And I think the reason for that is because basically there weren't any dickheads there, because generally speaking, you know, these dickheads aren't really smart enough to get in. So, you know, it's basically all just the nerds, and you know, everyone there is kind of like quirky in their own way, and as a result they're all really accepting of other people's quirkiness. So, you know, they're more than happy to, you know, accept you in, and like the people are so nice and supportive and everything, and it's something you don't generally tend to get in the real world. I do say the real world as if like this is some like magical place like Narnia or something, but you know what I mean. But yeah, the other thing is that, you know, there's so many traditions and things there. Like, I'm not going to say all of them just because they're just like too many to count, and also the fact that if I divulge any of this information, I fear I may be shot. I'm not entirely sure. They may end up taking me out before I finish the sentence. But yeah, like I'll just give you one or two good examples. Like, I mean, every Wednesday you have to dress up as a pirate because it's Pirate Wednesday. Can you imagine if someone says to you, like, why are you dressed as a pirate? And you can just turn around and just say, it's Wednesday. And I think that's one of the things that really just kind of outlines how accepting everyone is, and how, you know, people aren't like judgmental or anything like that. And there aren't any cliques either, you know, and there's no sort of like social hierarchy. I mean, there is a little bit of that, but the only thing that I think that I can see that defines the social hierarchy, you know, why people would be on top as opposed to on the bottom, generally just comes down to experience and people who've been here before and they know more people. And you know, you do have some people who are just considered like absolute legends and, you know, uphold all the traditions and things like that, and they are some of the soundest people there, and they're not like complete dickheads about it. So I mean, you know, that's obviously great. And yeah, if I could go back next year, which I may not be able to afford it next year, but if I can, like if money wasn't an issue, like I would definitely go back next year. Because it was just so much fun. The people and the friends you make there are just absolutely amazing. But yeah, this has been FrOzenSwipe. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks very much for watching.